It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and nobody's picking up this bloomin' bookshelf even though they said they wanted to, but that's okay. Hello and welcome to Vlogmas. I mean, it's just the December vlogs, isn't it? It's the leading up to Christmas vlogs. It is Thursday the 1st of December, but it was also the last day of teaching today. Last day of classes. I'm at school tomorrow. We've got like a fun, basically, athletics day. The next week is my last week. My official last day is the 8th of December, I think. Thursday next week. And then we are moving out of this house a week after that. And then like 2 weeks after that, we're on a plane to Melbourne. I am so excited. I don't think it has quite sunk in yet that this is the end of like the teaching year. Like normally I'd be sitting here, I'd be like, ha, but I'm just like moving, stuff to do. But to celebrate the end of the school year, I'm going to bring up the wheel straight away in the opening clip of this vlog and figure out what book we are reading next, because your girl is still over 30 books away from reaching her goal on Goodreads. And so this means I need to be reading like more than one book a day. And I don't want to just read graphic novels. So, I mean, at this point, they would have told you what we're picking up. I've got a suspicion, yep, it is. It's a poetry collection, the first poetry collection I've read out of all of these, good save, out of all of these books. So this is Wild Embers by Nikita Gill. Yeah, not Jill, Gill. And I actually haven't read from her before. However, I'm pretty sure her name came up at a, in a video I watched on YouTube about recommending poetry books. I can't remember what though, because this has been on my TBR for a really long time. But this is basically an exploration of the fire that lies within every soul, weaving words around ideas of feeling at home in your own skin, allowing yourself to heal and learning to embrace your uniqueness with love from the universe, poems of rebellion, fire and beauty. And I just want to say, and I think I said this in my TBR, there's some of these poems which look really short and what I'm going to classify as Instagram poetry, aka something that would fit in a 1x1 square post. But not all of them are that small. Some of them are longer, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. I haven't written a poem in ages, so maybe this will re-inspire me to read a poem. But let's read out the first line. Miracle. It took 3.18 billion years of triumphant evolution, remarkable collision, and unbelievable confluence made by sheer will and influence of this infinite universe and all of the stars to get you here. I hope you never doubt again that even when you are in pain, that you are a miracle, that every part of you is incredible. Aww, thank you. Okay, let's go figure out the snack. I'm not going to bother with a bookmark because I think I'll be able to... Oh, no, you know what? Poetry isn't... I don't want to consume this all in one setting. So let's figure out the page. Oh, the bookmark. Something Starsy, something whimsical. Oh, surely. Right? Yeah, that's definitely a go. Oh, okay, so I have just had dinner dropped off in the form of Subway. Something I really want to do, and like ties back from work, so I'm kind of talking to him too. Babe, is like I really need to start looking after myself more with what I eat. I don't know the last time I really had fresh fruit and vegetables, just because the cost of living in New Zealand is so expensive right now. Like I could technically afford it if I made the choice to, but it's so hard to go into the supermarket and be like, oh yeah, cabbage. I need that. Wait, $7 or more. There was a point where I saw it for $5. So like getting takeaways is actually cheaper. Although this isn't too unhealthy, but a bit of a reading update as well. I'm almost finished Wild Embers. Like I'm literally 50 pages from finishing. I'll definitely finish it in a second. But I just wanted to give my thoughts at this point in case they change when I do reach the end.
Just give me a butt.
Could you please get me a glass of water, baby? Thank you. And they actually listened to my request. I put onion in and I said only a little bit of onion, please. And literally it's only a little bit of onion. It's good. I'm happy. So my thoughts so far. Out of all of the, I'm going to say recently popular poetry books, poets I've read from, so far this is definitely one of my favourite. And I'm saying that comparing it to I was going to say Jennifer Lawrence, that's wrong, Amanda Lovelace and Rupi Kaur, and was someone else, but I think there's someone else that I just can't remember. This is definitely my favourite so far, and I think it's just because the topic. I can see you moving in the TV. What are you after? Pan? Might be one in the box. I mean, poetry is such a there's a flat. Poetry is such a personal thing. So it makes sense that you've got to have some sort of connection to the topic. And that's where, like Rupi Kaur's poetry just doesn't do it for me. I just find it really hard to, I mean, I think I don't like her poetry style, but also her topic is unrelatable for me because it's very heavily to do with trauma that I haven't experienced. Not to say it's not I was going to say important and powerful, and I was trying to put it together. Not like I recognise the power that sort of poetry has for people, and I'm not saying it's necessarily bad poetry. I'm just saying it's poetry not for me. Whereas this is more about like recognising that each day is a new day, and there's some like broken-hearted sort of poetry, which will be so like this is good if you have recently had a bad breakup. But the like there's been a section. 6 pages where, what's her name again? Nikita Gill basically critiqued a few princesses like Snow White and Ariel and what was another one? Cinderella, and they were like, to be more accurately, 1-page stories, not really poems, like critiquing how those women sacrificed so much for men and stuff like that. So I really liked that, but I also have a critique, and that is that the pronouns used, Nikita's basically talking to the audience, which is fine, like a lot of the audience, was said like you, she addresses the audience, but when she's not addressing the audience and she's addressing a romantic partner, she's saying he. So it's only written for hetero women or gay men, which I think really limits the power and importance, which really limits the power these poems have, because as let's say a hetero man who also has feelings, if he wanted to pick up some poetry, he wouldn't find that this catered to him, and it would almost discredit his feelings in the sense that if he was reading a poem about heartbreak, it would be hard for him to put himself in that poem. It's just something I'm aware of. Like, it also means that if you're non-binary, you know, you're having people being gendered in female and male pronouns. So that's just a little critique. For me, it doesn't impact my meaning, my reading of it, but it's, you know, if I was to share it with someone, I wouldn't recommend it to people without letting them know that your sexual identity and your gender identity kind of does matter when reading this. There are also definitely some cliches, but I'm going to finish my dinner and read the rest of this, so I'll be back in a second with my final thoughts. As promised and as expected, I finished this book and I'm going to give it a final rating of 3 stars. I'm trying to... I mentioned that there was a like princess story reimagining. There was also a conversation about Greek goddesses, which was cool as well. But overall, I just feel like I'm missing something with modern poetry. There's what I want are poetry books where they use rhyme, iambic pentameter, like traditional rhyming words, but you rhyming traditional poetry techniques, but with modern language. That's what I want. Currently we have modern language with modern poetry, or we have traditional poetry with traditional language. I want traditional poetry with modern language. I want poems that I can decipher and understand today, like with today's language, without having to get a dictionary out and figure out the meaning of everything. But I want it to be crafted in terms of syllables and alliteration and all of that stuff. That's what I want. So if you have any poetry recommendations, I would highly appreciate it. If you do like modern poetry, I would recommend this to you. If you are someone who identifies as woman and is going through a moment where you need like a bit of encouragement to start afresh or to move on or to find power within yourself. I am going to finish editing the latest vlog, which will be vlog 93. We're always at 100. And I will... And once I've done that, I'll catch up with you guys. I don't know what I feel like doing. It might be reading another book. It might be doing something else for moving. We'll see. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Yay for summer, it's still being light out. But I did end up getting a little bit lost in planning my YouTube out a little bit. I did some research, and by research I mean looking at my favourite booktubers and seeing what kind of content they've been doing. There's nothing wrong at all with gathering inspiration from other people, and I always credit people. So I feel like that's all right. You know, it's not like I'm super famous and I'm gaining heaps from taking inspiration from their idea. But anyway, I'm really excited because I also came up with some original ideas, heaps of really cool vlog things I cannot wait to do. I would show you, but I want to keep them somewhat secret. I also decided I wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for? Whittle down and condense my social media presence for my own sanity. So a couple of weeks ago I had actually deleted my teacher TikTok. I now have my outfit of the day TikTok, but I'm also not pressuring myself to post on there daily, just when I want to. And then I've decided I am going to only use my one Bethan Books Instagram account, which I am ironically banned from at the moment, from shadow banned, from when I was clearing out who I was following and unfollowing people. They shadow banned me because they thought I was a bot. So I'm still shadow banned there for a couple of days, which is okay. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, so I'm not going to use my normal Bethany and Garrett Instagram. I'm going to put everything on my Bethan Books, so like my outfit photos, any poetry I write and want to share, all of my book reviews, travel photos. I'm just going to make it one platform. I'm not going to segregate myself out anymore on different platforms. But then I really want there to be some sort of cohesion between my Instagram and my booktube account in terms of aesthetics. So like there's some sort of branding vibe. And whilst I love the warm, cozy aesthetic of bookstagram accounts, I do find it very restrictive and it makes me not want to post sometimes. So I'm just going to make my feed bright. Like my Bethany and Garrett one is quite colourful at the moment, and I really like how that's looking. So I'm going to just translate that idea to my Bethan Books account, which also means I want to redo my YouTube thumbnails. So I'll pop up my inspiration pictures, and then here is my like mood board of graphics and fonts that I'm liking. So I mean, it'll be started with this Vlogmas one. I'll start editing it cute like this with this Vlogmas vlog. But yeah, so that's basically what I've been doing. I'm really excited to only have 3 platforms that I post to. It's just quite freeing and liberating. I also went through the people I follow on YouTube and unsubscribed from a bunch. I am now only subscribed to 44 people on YouTube. So if you have any booktuber recommendations, please let me know. There's a few people I really like, but when I've read books they've recommended, I've really disliked them. So I've actually unfollowed a bunch of people, because also when my YouTube subscription box is then overwhelmed with booktube, I just keep thinking, I'm not posting enough. So, you know, it's all about balance. But if you do have any good recommendations, please let me know, especially any Australians. I'd love to try actually connect with people. It would be really cool. One of the hardest things about being an adult is making friends. So that would be, you know, an obvious connection with people if we both like to read. But for now, I am also going to spin the wheel and let's see what book we are going to pick up next. Let's, the awkward wait whilst we spin. I also need to buy a journal. Shall we go journal shopping too? Anyway, that's the book. Hello now. Hello everybody, it is Friday the 2nd, I think, of December, and it is already 10:30 at night. I have had a killer headache. I still have a killer headache from today's activities with the students. Yesterday was like their last day teaching, and as I mentioned, today was like an athleticsy kind of day, and I got involved because I couldn't help myself, and there was like a water slide and dodgeball and tug of war and stuff like that, so I just got stuck in. But I think I got a bit dehydrated and I'm still like, you know, you got to warm up to summer, so I've just had a killer headache. But I did actually read 30 pages of this. So what is it about? We have 2 characters, although predominantly at the moment from our one main character's person POV. I'm actually trying to see if she has a name yet, because it's from first person narration. I think it might be Jude. To say Jude, that feels right. So basically Jude is a teenager whose mum is always falling in love with people and then falling out of love with them, so she's moved like 18 times in her 16 years or something like that, and we know that she falls in love with someone, and it feels like they don't stay together just based off of the first conversations we have in the chapters. So it's definitely a romance story between 2 teenagers, and that's really all I can say right now because I haven't continued to read it. But the reason why I turned the camera on is for 2 reasons. One, in the spirit of purging things with this move, I really want, and like deleting Instagram accounts and stuff like that, is that I also really want to go through and clear out my Goodreads TBR, so want to read shelf. So I am going to pop up in a second a video of my want to read shelf. So I currently have 279 books on here, and in all honesty I would love to get that down to 100 books so I felt less overwhelmed, and I do want to go through and add some of the Goodreads Choice Award finals when they win, and then I want to try read some 2023 new releases next year when they come out. So if I can get it closer to 100, I'll be super happy. And I'm going to be really brutal too. And I just thought it would be fun to take you along with me. I'm always fascinated by seeing what's on some people's TBRs, and some of these I added years and years ago. Like, if I get recording right now, the very top one on this film, on this page, is The Goldfinch. I added this in 2017 and I'm just not interested in it anymore. I'm just going to be really brutal here, team. All of these I do still really want to read. Bunny, this one I don't need. The Rise of Kyoshi, Truth Witch, I can't remember what that's about. That one is huge, so I'm just going to get rid of that. George R. R. Martin, You Can Go. I have started The Priory of the Orange Tree. Christina Lauren and Numerous, I do still want to read that. I'm going to get rid of the Brendan Sanderson one though, because until I've finished his like first installment of the series, I don't need that. New Testament, Queenie, I think I'll leave Queenie on there. I'm going to get rid of 8 Perfect Murders. The Faithless Hawk, I remember reading Merciful Crow and liking it, but I read it years ago in 2020 and I cannot recall much about it. Gonna do the same for Blood and Salt. The Kite Runner, I'm just deleting it because even though I will one day get to it, it's one of those books on my TBR which makes me feel bad that I haven't got around to it, and I don't want that. Clickbait, it just sounds like it might be too cheesy for my tastes at the moment, now that I have grown up a little bit. Ooh, Don't Call Us Dead is actually a book I've got in my little collection for trying to read all these books before the end of the year. I cannot remember what that book is. Tiny Beautiful Things, Advice on Love and Life from Dear Sugar. So that can go. Fly on the Wall, Race the Sands, Forge, and blah, blah, blah. These are all still interesting for me. The Code of Miracles, that looks a bit too cheesy YA for me. Surely that's not all of them. Remove books from all. Yes. Please do that for me. Alright, I've just relocated because the internet in here is so much better than the internet in the bedroom. So continuing on, some books I just can't remember. I'm just going to get rid of The Rage of Dragons. Release, I just don't own it anymore. Cry as Well can go. The Binding can go. Mortician's Daughter still sounds interesting, to be honest. Tweet Cute, yeah, I don't want to read that anymore. The Iron Queen. I remember reading this series years ago when I was a teenager, and I think I added this because I wanted to try finish that series, but I'm just gonna be brutal and just delete it. An Ember in the Ashes is a series I want to finish, and I think it might be a series I actually start from the beginning again with. Deleting Howl's Moving Castle, Time Traveler's Wife. Vampires Never Get Old can go. 1,000 Splendid Suns can go. I still want to read all of those. Foundry Side can go. A lot of these books I added at one point, a lot of them apparently in 2020, but I just have completely forgotten why I wanted to read them. So that's a thing. Like Sky Hunter Marie Lu, I need to finish her series that I've started reading a while ago. Oh, I put Vampire Academy there because I wanted to maybe do it as a reread from when I was younger, like reminiscing on my teenage books. Akane can go, that can go. That's the second book. I don't think I'm interested in Stephen Chbosky's Imaginary Friend just because it's so long. If you've read it and you think it's worth it, let me know. Artemis can go. Not too bad, it's okay, baby. I've read The Godfather. Why is that there? That can go. I've read that years ago though. Gulliver's Travel I've heard is a really boring classic. Okay, at this point I feel like I'm getting sick of my own voice, so I'm just going to put this into time-lapse mode and you can see what I delete. The big one's huge. That is cute. That is so cute. Look at the colour of it. Look inside it, you reckon? Oh, that's nice. I'm not much of a car person, but I can appreciate this. I mean, it's not that much of an exotic name, but we're in New Zealand where they got bad over naming chocolate in Te Reo Māori. So there's definitely some people who are unaware of cultural things. Is this what you were looking at? 15 grand. Gosh, cars have gotten expensive. Hello everybody, it is Saturday the 3rd. Hang on, I should probably check. Yeah, the 3rd of December. And it's starting to feel like the holidays because it's sunshiny outside, so I've got some washing on the go. I also got up this morning and went to Turner's, which is a car, what do you call it, car yard here in New Zealand, and they buy your cars off you and then sell them on your behalf, or auction them on your behalf and then take a fee. And I went and my car got what's the word, an appraisal for about $4,500, which I honestly think is a bit low if I look at the market at the moment and what things are selling for on Trade Me. So, and on Facebook Marketplace, when you just do an individual like private sale. So I'm going to try go down that route. So I need to go wash my car at some point. However, Ty is finishing some football and I get him to help me wash my car. So what I'm going to do is do one last thorough sweep of my wardrobe, because I'm also going to go donate, or not donate because we don't have donation bins here, but go through and finish sorting out donations. Okay, not heaps that I'm going to get rid of, but I'm going to get rid of these shoes and these shoes. I'm going to see if Recycle Boutique will take them. And then I'll see if Recycle Boutique wants these Adidas fat pants as well. And then I'm going to donate these. And I think the elephant pants from Thailand. Oh, but they're so comfortable. You know what? I'm going to keep them. Alright, so you... I feel like this needs to be censored somehow. You guys know how I'm going to get the butterfly tattoo. It's booked in for, not this Tuesday, next Tuesday. This boy wants one. And what do you want, babe? Dragon. With this, do you want the sword, by the way? Down the middle of it? Sword and dragon. And he can't figure out where he wants it. So he said we could vlog this process. I thought it would be funny. Okay.
Sitting or standing?
I think you need a stand so we can figure out how long we want it. I will probably have to clip some of it out. Okay, so are you thinking big? Or are you thinking...
I'm thinking I want something here later though.
So let's pretend you get a bumblebee because I'm bee. And that would be cute. Or a butterfly.
Butterfly could be cute.
A butterfly could be cute. This is the most ratchet looking butterfly I've ever seen. Okay, hang on, let me do that so you can see. There, use it like a mirror if you need.
Yeah, it works, doesn't it?
It's a 6-winged butterfly, but yeah. And then what, you're saying you would get the dragon...
Either up here, like there, or on the side.
I just reckon on the side might be too feminine.
You think?
That's all I can think, yeah. And then it might look a bit weird by itself on the side. It might look too feminine. Whereas if we have it here... Where's your reference photo? Okay, let me do the sword. So if you had it like... Artist! Don't mock me. Hang on, can you turn a bit so the people can see? It's a sword. Then you have like the dragon head. And you have its body.
Freehand artist, but you only ever do freehand stuff.
You gotta trust me. It's Thomas the Tank Engine. All right, here is what it looks like now. We have emptied everything out. These are the only things coming with us. That's to give back to a friend. There's my tripod, I found it. And then those are boxes that we need to pack stuff in before we go. Which means now that this room is back to being absolutely full of things we're going to sell. We've got like a gym bundle, a couple of beach things, some linen, some nail polish stuff, this random stuff. Still need to get rid of these books, man. I think I might just give them away for free at this point. All right, next on the chores list, we are at the car wash place. Here we go, here we go. Ty has just gone to go get some coins. In the back, I also have some things which I'm giving to a colleague, and you can see the start of some of the bags I'm going to go drop off at Recycle Boutique. It's a productive day. We are getting stuff done. And a guy just went for a mooch and made awkward eye contact with me as I am talking to you guys. That's okay. Public vlogging, everybody. Okay, oh, here comes Ty. I need to wash the car. I have no idea which way around it goes, to be honest. You've got the longer one, eh? Yeah, it's just one of those things I was never taught. Is it just a clip?
Yeah, it should be. I don't know if that's
A quick little fries and apple crumble cider, and I don't know, was it lager? Stop after doing all of our chores. Oh my god, it's hot. It's 4:30. I have been busy. You can tell from the state of my hair. I have listed all of this, and I really need to read a book. So I'm going to continue on with, what's it called? Hello Now. See if I get any bites for any of it. It's crazy. My little shop, it empties and it comes back. I mean, that's a bag of rubbish I need to put in the bin. But all of this has to go. Ignore the mess. This is what happens when I don't have my organisational system. Here we go. Hello Now. Also, we're in the middle of changing the bed sheets. Don't judge. Let's make some progress. Oh, okay, everybody. I finished reading Hello Now. The fight is paused on the background. And I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. If I was to explain what this book is like compared to other books, it would be a mix of Piranesi and The Night Circus. So I think Piranesi is Susanna, and The Night Circus is Erin Morgenstern. If those two books came together and got shortened, that's kind of like Hello Now. So this is about two characters, Novo and Jude, and basically they are destined to be in love and fall in love. So this is a story about first love and like love at first sight. But there's like this real magic woven in quite literally in how somehow time kind of stops. When the two are together, they are in like a different plane. There is this kind of ability for Novo to, he's almost like Peter Pan in a sense. And so it's quite magical and mystical. I can't say I think I got it. I don't think I understood all of it in the book. It feels like it was one big metaphor at times, but some beautiful imagery and some beautiful quotes. This one quote that I pulled from it goes like, "He laughed, a match strike lighting up corners of the day I hadn't even looked at." So some really poetic one-liner moments. I think this book will stick with me for a while. It also reminds me a lot of Loveless by Jennifer Niven. I still haven't looked up how to pronounce her last name. So I do recommend this book if you're after a whimsical short story about love and with an actual like magical kind of element to it, like a fairy tale Peter Pan sort of whimsical way. That's it for this vlog though. I hope you have enjoyed it. Tomorrow is Sunday and there will be no doubt more moving and clearing out of things. So thank you for making it to the end. Christmas is getting ever closer. I'd be so intrigued to hear some of your favourite Christmassy time reads. Any Northern Hemisphere people, are there any super snowy books that you like? And Southern Hemisphere, are there any super summery books that you like? Because sometimes I alternate being in the mood to like go back to like my English Christmas roots nostalgia of winter, and then sometimes it's summer, so I want a really good summery book. So I would appreciate your recommendations. But yeah, I feel like I've tried to stop this vlog 3 times now. So enjoy all the places you go in your own reading adventures, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.